Hello, everybody. I'm Jennifer Lisanti, the Director of Sales at Beere&Purves. Thank you very much for joining us today on our webinar featuring Cigna plus Oscar. We know Q4 has definitely hit and your time is valuable, so we appreciate you joining us today. A couple of housekeeping items before we get started. The first thing is everyone is on mute and your cameras are off unless you're presenting. Please, because you're on mute, please enter questions into the chat box. Troy and I will be looking at those during the presentation. We might jump in throughout and we'll definitely address them all at the end. We are keeping this presentation to a half hour because everyone is busy. So if we do run out of time, we'll definitely circle back with you on those questions. And I'll go ahead and answer the number one question we always get. We will be sharing this presentation later today to all registrants. So having said that, I want to point out that we've been very thrilled with our Cigna plus Oscar partnership. They're very unique for two reasons. One is their concierge level service that really helps members deal with the complexity of healthcare, which is, a huge obstacle for everybody. And so we're getting Cigna plus Oscar is helping people get care quickly, easily, helping them be healthier. And then two, technology. I always say there's technology and then there's insurance technology. Well, Cigna plus Oscar is actually real technology, not insurance technology. So it's super easy for members, the groups, the brokers, the GAs. We love it. It's so easy to load a group, etc. So I won't take any more time being respectful. I'm going to turn it over to the Cigna plus Oscar team. We have Troy Parant, who runs the state of California for Cigna plus Oscar. We have Andy, who is a sales contact for Northern California, and we have Lisa, who's a sales contact for Southern California. So having said that, Troy, here you go.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for hosting, Jennifer, and to the entire team. I know these things take a lot to organize, get the word out there. And thank you all for joining. We know it's a super busy time of year, so we keep these short to a half hour, like we said. If you do want to connect, obviously the B&P team has all of the information we're going to share today. So, we really appreciate their support and for hosting. And we're going to give you all the information we think you need today, nothing that you don't. We're going to keep it short and sweet, but obviously, like we said, if there's questions throughout, drop them in the chat. Just real quick, I want to introduce myself. My name is Troy Parant. I manage our West Coast sales team here at Cigna plus Oscar, which isn't just California, it's Arizona, it's Georgia, it's Tennessee, it's Connecticut. We'll show you a little map, but we are, Cigna plus Oscar is a true small group insurance carrier. This isn't just a lease network, and we'll get into some of that today. Without taking up too much of your time on my own introduction, I'll turn it over to Andy.
Hey everybody, as Troy mentioned, Andy Mueller. I am the sales executive here in the West Coast, managing the Northern California portion. I've been, just a little background about myself here. I've been with Oscar about over 3 years now, strictly in the small group space. I've helped launch this product in some of the other markets. And then now I'm definitely running the Arizona and Northern California regions. So definitely look forward to working with each and every one of you that I haven't met so far. For those that I have, hello again, and I'll pass it over to Lisa here quickly.
Thanks, Andy, and good morning, everybody. My name is Lisa Stanson. I'm the Senior Sales Executive for Southern California. So I'm a newbie to the team, but not to the industry. I've actually been in the industry now for over 25 years, so I'm very excited to join the team at Cigna plus Oscar. Andy, back to you.
Awesome, thank you. So a couple other names, faces to familiarize yourself with here is going to be Ashley and Grant. They are California account managers, so think anything of dedicated, post-sale account management to, help with quoting or appointments, commissions, things like that. You can always reach out to them. Of course, you have Lisa and myself as well, but they're always there to support alongside the B&P team, of course.
Yeah, Andy, I'll just add on that real quick before we jump into it. One of the things that I was maybe a little surprised about is, we offer a lot of support for once a group comes on board for implementation, onboarding. As Jennifer said, the process is super easy to get a group in the system. But we also help with, if you need a presentation to help present this to the employees and how, Oscar is truly different and how the technology that we're going to share with you helps them. We have a lot of tools for, post-sale support, and also that's where, our account managers come in on the service side. So I just want to mention that too as we jump in here.
Perfect. Awesome. So Quick highlights here. I know a lot of you have probably seen or heard most of this, so I want to keep it, as Troy mentioned, brief in that aspect and make sure to give you what you need, not what you don't. But you know, a big question is going to be from those groups that are new and asking the questions, right? Is what is this partnership? Who is this? Who's Oscar? You know, what's this look like? So just to give you high level, what's the difference? What is each carrier bringing to this partnership? Again, true joint venture, right? 50-50 seat at the same table. So Cigna's bringing that legacy carrier brand name alongside two of their awesome larger style group networks to the small group space in this partnership. This product is underwritten and filed on Cigna paper. And then Oscar is going to bring their digital and human support. So think of the care teams, think of the 24/7 virtual urgent care, you know, the technology and the resources that come along with what Oscar brings to the table. So where are we today? As Troy mentioned, we're gonna show you this map here. So this is truly the newest small group insurance carrier to the market, right? And this isn't, as Troy mentioned, we're not leasing a network, right? Oscar's not leasing a Cigna network to offer a small group product, right? This true joint venture is going to be the newest small group carrier that we expect to be a national carrier here. And as you see in the last year, as our first effective date in this product was in Georgia and Tennessee for 10/1 of last year. So pretty much within a year, we're you know, closing in on about 8 states, obviously pending regulatory approval here, and already well over 7,000 members. So as you can see, definitely people adapting to this model and seeing that this truly is a new solution for small groups. And just a quick highlight here on some of the things we've been hearing, and I don't want to waste too much time here, but I want to spend a little bit of time looking at my favorite here, and the best is that I believe is thank you and thank your team. This is the type of service work that will grow our business together, right? And that's what we want to do here. We want to partner with you. We want to help you grow your book of business, and we know this product's going to allow you to do that to really support those small groups in your book. So the network, of course, we have 2 network options, as mentioned, 2 Cigna networks, Local Plus and Open Access Plus, both EPO networks here for Q4. Local Plus, of course, is a local curated network here in California. We'll touch base on what those rating areas look like. And then Open Access, of course, is the national network. As you can see, about 70% provider overlap between the two. Main things you're going to see are going to be some of the university systems, and then in Northern California, Sutter Health outside. But you know, the premium difference, depending on the rating area, from Local Plus to Open Access could be that 7 to 15 decrement you see. So looking into the networks more in depth, Open Access, as mentioned, we're going to see some of those university systems within that larger Open Access network. Obviously, it's also a national network. Unlike the Local Plus, but you're going to get the university systems. You're going to have PAMF and Sutter up in Northern California in network on the Open Access. So, you know, these are things that people are going to ask, of course, and those are going to be the big highlight differences between Open Access and Local Plus. Now, Local Plus is still certainly a broad network. You know, some of the big names that you expect to see in the network will still be able to be bought into at that lower price point on Local Plus, whether we're talking John Muir and Stanford, or in Southern California, looking at the Hoag and Providence systems. We're going to have, you know, options for everybody. And of course, groups can offer Local Plus and Open Access Plus side by side within the group. So you can hit both price points with offering both network options to those employees. So we talked about the technology and the resources, right? So really, what is all this going to provide our members? And the goal, as the mission of Cigna Plus Oscar, is to provide more accessible and more affordable care for all. That's exactly what these are designed to do. So the product's bringing in the 2 robust networks. It's going to offer all plans to have $0 virtual urgent care 24/7 and unlimited on all plans. The $0, the only caveat to that would be on HSA plans. After, you know, the CARES Act of 2021, it will be back to $0 for the HSA post deductible. And then the dedicated care teams, of course, each member will be assigned to their own care team that they're calling and messaging into on their own, that they, you know, always are talking to the same 4 to 5 people every single time they message or call in. They see the picture and the name of the person they're talking to really put that human element behind this, because we know technology isn't going to go anywhere or be anything really without good people behind it, right? And then the big call out that I like to talk to my brokers about is the fact that we also have a business concierge team. So it's not just the care teams for the members, but the business actually has access to their own concierge team as well. Obviously, they're going to come to you, for their support, and to you to the GA, of course. But at the same time, we want to try and cut out some of those quick questions that an employee might have, or that the business owner might have, that they can actually self-service directly within their portal, or through their care team, business concierge team, that they do a quick call to avoid some of that telephone from back and forth to everybody. And it just makes a better outcome experience for everybody, from the member to the employer to the broker to the GA, etc. So this is kind of just a highlight of that member experience, and because I don't want to beat it down, as we've talked about this a lot before, but Troy, I think you might want to talk about this as you experience this directly, with the members experience.
Yeah. So, and like Andy said, I think the point we want to make here is why this is different, why this is special. This is the stuff that doesn't jump off of a spreadsheet when you're talking to a prospect or one of your current clients. I think this is where we're seeing a lot of traction. Like, the whole point of this webinar is to give you all the info that you need, the tools that you need to write business. And also, I think when you write that business, hopefully it's with a carrier who's going to make your life easier. So the takeaway for me here, the example on the left there, we had a brand new member to us who just came on board. They were running extremely low on their diabetic testing supplies. They were basically on, samples from the doctor at that point. They really needed their delivery. They came on board with us, and there was an issue with the vendor. The member contacted our care guide team. That member did not have to pick up the phone once to call any vendors to deal with this issue. Our care guides coordinated between 3 separate vendors. We got the member their testing supplies in time. And again, that member didn't have to pick up the phone once. I mean, you can imagine the merry-go-round that our care guides went through, but they do it on behalf of that member. And I think that's one of the things that's really frustrating with health insurance. I mean, we talk about it all the time. You can order a pizza through an app and see it, down to the second being delivered to your front door. Why does health insurance have to be so archaic? I mean, there's so many different systems, and nothing really talks to each other. That's why we've built Oscar, to be different. And like Andy said, the technology is nothing without people behind it. So our care guides are the ones that help us and help those members navigate the healthcare ecosystem. So again, that member didn't have to pick up the phone once besides to text our care team, nor did you as the broker have to get on the phone and deal with any of that. So that's where our value is coming in here. Just another example there on the right. We had a member who was traveling. They always ask you in enrollment meetings, hey, or if I'm traveling, what happens if it's an emergency? And you always say life or limb. This member was traveling. They weren't sure if it would be a true emergency, so they were afraid to go to the doctor. The emergency room. They texted our care guides. Our care guides helped them every single step of the way. It was actually determined the member needed an MRI. So we not only found the best place to get an MRI, we helped with the scheduling. We helped with getting them the medicine afterwards. And basically, again, that member didn't have to pick up the phone, nor did you have to do anything, as the broker, where that member, they're calling the group contact's calling you, or, some type of merry-go-round. That member came directly to us. And I think that's what we're building here, is we're building that trust with our members to change the standard in what people expect from their health insurance carrier. And it really is a much easier solution than just picking up that 888 number on your insurance card and being like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I have to call this number right now and get help. This is going to be a nightmare. Like, that's what we're fixing. So, just a couple of stories there that I want to share about, what we're seeing in the first few months here and how we're different. Back to you, Andy.
Awesome. Thanks, Troy. Leading right into the $0 virtual care. So the virtual urgent care, we have branded it as urgent care because about 90% of those things that you're going to get done in urgent care, you can now do through telemedicine. Excuse me. What makes ours a little bit different here is that this is our own proprietary product, right? Everything Oscar has built technology-wise is built by Oscar for Oscar, right? So this is directly embedded into our mobile app. So as most of you know, a lot of the carrier mobile apps aren't even ever downloaded, right? Where ours, depending on, the product line, but as a whole, about 54% of our members are actually monthly users on our app. So it just shows that, this model is working. People want that access to their care. But once they're in the mobile app, they're able to see, okay, I can get access to this virtual urgent care. I can get this prescription to the local pharmacy without stepping foot in a doctor. And it provides, again, more accessibility, more affordability for our members. But at the same time, the utilization of our mobile app and the virtual urgent care is so much higher due to the fact that it is our own product and we're not kicking you to a third party. It's not Teladoc getting this or Live Health Online or anything like that. This is our own product that people are accessing directly through their mobile app, which they can see prior visits, they can see your health questionnaire directly in what your profile is in the mobile app. So it's just, again, they have access to your care. It's a better outcome for everybody at the end of the day. So just a quick highlight on we know telemedicine is around, and it's had to stay in the sun after last year, but we know that our product is different and it's been built for this since day one. So of course, the fun stuff here in terms of the plan offering and the portfolio. So as you see here, Northern California rating areas 2 through 8, and then Southern California 2 through 19, with the exception of rating area 13, so Imperial County. But essentially, this product, we kind of missed quarter 4 of last year, right? Although we launched Northern California on 1/1, we really didn't have quarter 4 to ramp up for 1/1, as things didn't really get in place, and regulators and things, we didn't get things done until December, almost right before that effective date. So this is really our first quarter 4 with this product, so we are very excited for what's to come here. And as you see there on the right hand side, we had that Q3 to Q4 rate pass, so we've been able to quote these 12/1 rates since Q3. Apologies on the lag there. So a quick highlight here in terms of what we're seeing out there in the market. Where are we seeing these wins? Well, the platinum area, we're definitely seeing some wins. We'll touch base on this, but we have a platinum plan that essentially is priced similar to a gold plan across the market, and it cuts the maximum out of pocket in more than half than those gold plans, with the premium there. So that's been a huge win for us. And then of course our bronze plans are some of the lowest in the market, even beating some limited HMO products. So definitely, if you're looking for something that is a little bit alternate funding, or you're looking for a unique solution for those employers, the bronze plan offers those savings to put alongside an HSA or an HRA, and we've seen some abilities to do that and provide savings and still offer pretty much offering maximum out-of-pocket credits towards those employees to make it feel like a gold or a platinum plan, still with all those savings. So definitely some wins we've seen here, some unique wins on the bronze side, but definitely, as we know, people want to offer the best benefits to get people in the door in this job market, right? Or they're at least trying to offer some benefits, right? They want to be an employer offering benefits. So we've definitely seen it on both sides of the spectrum here. And that goes with Local Plus and Open Access. So a quick highlight, as I mentioned, on the Platinum 500. So if we look at the very popular plan in the market, that full PPO 750 gold plan with Blue Shield, look at that max out of pocket comparing to the Platinum 500 with us. Very similar in terms of the primary care specialist visits. However, you're able to cut those maximum out of pockets in more than half, and you're also able to keep that premium in the gold tier, which is pretty incredible. So we're seeing a lot of wins there. No, very busy slide. I don't want to spend too much time here, but all we can say is we see some green, right? Obviously, there is a lot of green here that we're seeing in Southern California here on the left-hand side, and then we can see we got some big wins here in Santa Clara and San Francisco here in Northern California. Gold premiums here, as you see, our gold 750 definitely still very comparable. However, if you look on the left-hand side, you see the gold PPO 750 alongside our Platinum 500. You can really see what I'm talking about in terms of we can get that platinum option for and still have that decrement. So definitely be taking a look at that for some of those groups looking at the higher tier plans. But of course, you can see some competitive options across the metal tiers. So we don't want to just talk the talk, right? We want to show that we can walk the walk here, and the big thing here is just seeing our broker net promoter score. The big thing there for us, a 66 comparing to the -19 of the industry average. That's something we pride ourselves on. We want to be the carrier that brokers want to work with, that GAs want to work with, right? We want to be that carrier, and we want to be able to provide, the resources and the tooling to make it easier for you, make your life easier, make sure your employees that are enrolled on your groups are taken care of. And so really that's what we want to highlight here, is that we really are trying to make sure that this is a product that you want to sell and that you need to have in your book of business, because we want to make sure that you are happy with the product, and that we know that the product's going to speak for that. Go ahead, Troy.
Yeah, I was just going to add so I think one of the takeaways for me, and just getting feedback, and this is obviously our first year in California as a Cigna plus Oscar fully insured small group carrier. We're not even around our first renewals yet, although they're upcoming. But a lot of the feedback has been like, our groups actually want to renew as is because the experience is different, not just because rates are flat. And I think there's no denying that the market is flat right now as far as increases are concerned. So it's nice to hear the feedback that when that does come back at some point, people are actually realizing that the Oscar experience is different, and they want to keep it outside of just what's going on with the actual rates. The other thing I just want to point out in that light is, so Andy shared that green chart. Just for everyone on the call here, I was running some reports earlier. Some of our top counties, Northern California, San Francisco, Santa Clara, number 1 and 2, depending on the month, pretty interchangeable, and Contra Costa. Southern California, pretty much across the board, we're trucking along in some of the major metros. So we've got LA, San Bernardino, Riverside, Orange, and San Diego are all pretty neck and neck, although I think Los Angeles is at the top. So I just want to share that for people on the call here. I mean, again, the goal of this call is to get you the information you need to get this in front of clients, prospects, make sure you know what is actually selling, what you're looking at, and a little bit more to the story than just what our rates, plans, networks look like, because all that stuff, as we say, shows up on the spreadsheet. So I just want to add that on top of the broker experience that you were talking about, Andy. Perfect.
Thank you. Alrighty. So again, want to be mindful of time here. So obviously, big announcement here is that coming in 2022, as I mentioned earlier, as of Q4, all the plan options are EPO options. As of 2022, the Open Access Plus plans will turn from an EPO into a PPO option. So once we're in 2022, those local plus plans will be EPOs, and the Open Access Plus will be PPOs. So definitely a good highlight there. As we've heard from the market, that would be ideal to have that PPO option. So obviously the Open Access was already a national network, but just offering it as a PPO option seems like it's going to be a better market fit there. So we're definitely excited for that. Quick highlight of what 22 plans are going to look like. We're going to have 17 plans across metal tiers. We're going to have some HSAs as well. You can see the breakdown 4, 4, 5, and 4 for the metal tiers. But again, not a lot's going to change in terms of the plans are all going to include the $0 unlimited virtual urgent care. You can still offer networks side by side in that aspect. You'll be able to offer 4 plans to the employees, no minimum enrollment. We don't have to have touching tiers. So essentially, we don't need to do bronze, silver, gold, platinum, right? You can do 2 bronze and 2 platinum. We don't care. You can have 4 plans offered and all employees only enroll in 1 plan. We don't care. We can have those ghost plans, as you want to call them, for future hires and things like that. So definitely things to consider. And then, I'll highlight there, if you write any business through California Choice, of course, we do have some of the plan options on California Choice as well. Those are only going to be the local plus options, but definitely just another option if we need it.
Yeah, I'll just add to that, Andy, the Cal Choice piece. We've seen a lot of groups. I mean, when you're putting the menu in front of the employees, we're covering a lot of the bases here. So we've heard from some brokers. You've got you've got Kaiser, and then you've got probably an option that has Sutter included, and then Cigna plus Oscar, especially with our EPO on Local Plus, does not have Sutter, but we're bringing in a different price point for those employees. So, and we're also the only non-gated platinum plan on Cal Choice. So I think if you're running CalChoice Business, I just want to mention that because there are some interesting things, interesting dynamics there at play. And also just on, I don't want to take too much of Andy's time, but also with our portfolio, so we're going to be releasing that the next week or two. The Beere&Purves team will have all that information, but just keep an eye out, not just for the new plans with the PPOs included, but there's also going to be some interesting new pricing for the gold tier as well. So keep an eye out for that with your B&P reps.
Perfect. So highlights here, how to work with us. Of course, as I mentioned, we want to be that carrier that you want to work with. We want to be easy to work with. Big highlight here in California for us is going to be those slicing requirements, right? We can be paired along any other carrier, any other plan type. We do not care. We just need the 60% participation overall, so across any plans that the group is offering, but we only need 3 or more to enroll with the Cigna plus Oscar option. So as Fred mentioned, get us on the menu. We know that once employees are seeing and feeling this product and understanding really what this model looks like, that the group is really going to gravitate towards it, and we are very confident in that. So definitely a quick highlight there to make sure we're looking into seeing if that's an option for some of those groups that you already have. And then of course, larger groups, we want to make that easy on everyone. If there's 7 or more enrolling, we do not need the DE9C, so no wage report there. And then the valid waivers there are going to be the usual suspects, as you would assume. And in terms of deadlines, we need everything submitted by the 5th business day after that desired effective date. Obviously, the sooner the better, of course, for everybody, but just a highlight there. But we want to make sure that everybody's appointed. We want to make sure we get you paid. We want to make sure we get you paid on those bonuses, which we'll talk about as well. But we can do that directly through our broker portal. We want to make sure we're appointed with both Oscar and Cigna plus Oscar. So both are right in there in the broker portal. Make sure we click both of those and we'll be good to go.
Yeah, Andy, let's just skip to the bonus slide real quick, just for the sake of time. So the big call out here, so our 4th quarter bonus, $500, unlimited. So 3 or more employees enrolled. For each account, it's unlimited. So if you write 10 3-life groups, that's $5,000. I think the big call out for me there is that matches up with our underwriting guidelines. So our slicing requirements, as Andy said, even if it's a current client of yours, if you add us to the menu this year, we get 3 employees, that's a $500 bonus for you. And I think that's where you're going to start to see that difference where people are like, oh, this is different. I actually like this. Like, this is a great experience. You're going to hear that from your groups. And I'm sure you've never heard that before about like people, thanks for giving us that option this year. So that's truly like, that's this kind of stuff that we're talking about in all of our presentations. And again, we have some videos we can share with you as a follow-up, just that would actually like the 1-minute clip so you can show your clients versus just talking about it, about how it all works. But that's the point we want to get across today. And I can't believe we have to say this, but yes, we fully support our general agents. Obviously, those bonuses are available if you work with a general agent. And they're also available through CalChoice. So if you get more than 3 employees enrolled through CalChoice on a group, you're going to get that bonus as well. Just please make sure that you're appointed with both Cigna and Oscar when you write that group. And then on the right hand there, for California especially, we heard last year that a lot of people wrapped up renewals early. They weren't commuting as much. It was easier to get things done. Renewals were flat, so people were making quicker decisions, and that they actually got the chance to, settle down a little bit earlier in 4th quarter rather than that rush we're all used to. So we want to reward that because I think nobody wants to go back to that, where you're working 1 million hours a day in 4th quarter and then kind of slow down after that. If you do get your cases in early, so for anything that's submitted through the month of November, we're actually going to give an additional bonus there. So it's going to be $700 instead of $500. And then if it's last minute, it will, meaning December 15th through the New Year's Eve, then it will go down to $350. But those are unlimited as well. So I know we're at time here. I want to make sure we open it up for questions if there are any. I didn't really see too much coming through the question box. Does anyone, Jennifer, did you see anything? I didn't see anything in the chat either. So I guess we can open it up if you want.
We just have one question. If you guys have expanded to Santa Cruz County yet?
Yeah, so the service areas are going to remain the same in 2020. So Santa Cruz County is not one of our service areas right now, but people can live there and get access to care. And keep an eye out. We might have some updates to our underwriting guidelines too, that it might make writing some of those groups a little bit easier as well.
And then we don't have a question, but a statement, which I completely agree with. Very excited about the PPO plans coming in for 2022. I think that will make a big impact. So it doesn't mean you shouldn't sell Cigna plus Oscar for December and October, November, et cetera. It's just going to get better. So
yes.
I guess with that, thank you very much for everyone's time. Troy, Andy, appreciate the partnership with you guys as well as our broker partners. And don't be shy, you know where to find all of us. So let us know if you have any questions. We know, again, Q4 is here. So we're happy to make life a little easier for you with anything we can do. So just reach out. So thanks for your time, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, great. Thanks
Awesome.
a lot.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, guys.